Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Convos with JD, where every afternoon while I have my afternoon coffee, wait for my children to get home, we sit and have a discussion about anything, everything. I don't want to limit myself to just, talking about politics or even sports or religion or anything like that. I want to talk about all of it, all the time. And that's where this comes in. I told my wife, I said, I'm home all the time and I see everybody else having these podcasts, these vlogs, whatever you want to call them. And I think I can do that. I think I want to do that. I'm not looking to get rich. That ain't gonna happen. Not for me. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to reach millions of people. If it happens, it happens. But I really don't expect it to. I just want to talk about things that I want to talk about and not limit myself to just one or two things. Now, there may be limitations of what I do talk about because I don't want this to be something where not everybody can come and listen or be involved. And I don't want this just to be a thing where I have one conversation a day in the afternoon. I may want to have two or three, or when I get a following or more comfortable doing this, I may want to go live in the evenings and talk to my viewers, my friends, family, anybody who wants to listen. So that's what I want to do. So let's start off with a little introduction. Who's JD? Why am I doing this? Well, I kind of gave you an idea of why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, but who am I? I'm JD. I live in San Antonio, Texas with my family. I have a wife and I have three beautiful children, all school age. You have to excuse me if I don't go into more detail. We don't know each other well enough just yet. But we will. We'll get there. A lot of the discussions that I want to have, I'll reference my children or my family. Because I'm all about family. I love my family. I love being a dad. I love being a husband. And it's something I feel like I'm really good at. My background isn't in anything that has to do with those things. I don't have a degree in sociology or anything family oriented or to where I can speak professionally on certain things. Anything that I'm going to talk about is just going to be from my personal experience or opinion. And that's okay. That it's okay to have those discussions. It doesn't have to come from somebody who says that they're professional or they know more than somebody else. We can all listen to each other and learn from one another. And that's what I'm hoping that we're going to do. Starting today until the end, whenever that is. Wife, three children, San Antonio, Texas. I'm originally from the Midwest. I grew up in Indiana. I am a Boilermaker, not a Hoosier, not Irish, not a Bulldog, none of that. I'm a Boilermaker through and through. It is in my blood. My background, I was in the Army as a combat medic for 10 years. I am a disabled veteran. Thank you very much. I know somebody's going to say thank you for your service. And I appreciate that. I really do. It used to be this thing where when somebody would say that to me and I never knew how to respond, when somebody's saying thank you, it just didn't feel natural to say thank you back. And so it took me a long time to even be comfortable with it. And I never knew really what it meant. There's so many cases, so many times people just, I feel they say it to say it. And even the sentiment of it is, I feel like it's in good faith. I don't think anybody's if somebody says thank you for your service, they're not out to be a douchebag about it, and they might have their opinions of things, and that's fine. But if somebody does say thank you for your service to me, I usually just say, oh, no problem, have a great day or something like that. I am a veteran. I've done my deployments. All my children, except for one, my daughter, they were born on military installations. Any barking that you hear anytime I have to get up or anything, I also, along with having 3 children, I have 3 dogs, and they're yappers, especially at this time of day. I'm recording this at almost 3 o'clock, so kids are going to be coming home from school in the next 30 minutes. That means there's kind of just a little bit of a pickup in the neighborhood, if you would, and so people are kind of walking around, and so now my dogs are getting up from their naps and running around and just trying to say hello to everybody in the neighborhood. So yeah, I've been just about anywhere you can go. Stationed in Kentucky, Kansas, Texas, Korea, all over the place. Different units. Anybody out there watching this who was in the military, if you want to say something in the comments about where you were from, or if anybody out there who's watching, going to be watching, that is interested in going in the military, I think that's one of the topics I do want to talk about, because I talk about that with my oldest son. He's 13, and we recently have been kind of picking up the conversations about what his future is going to look like. And part of that future is I don't want him to discount the military and what it offers. Now, I have my own experiences and my opinions of the military, and that's fine. But what it can offer him for a future other than just the military is something I want him to take into consideration. So that's part of, I'm also disabled. So I did get injured. I've had multiple surgeries, and the injury itself does limit me physically. So I am a stay-at-home dad. I am lucky enough that my wife has a good enough job to support us outside of the military side, and you know what? We'll talk about this because she knows how I feel about this, so it's fine. I had a hard time being a stay-at-home dad. Like I said, I love being a dad. I feel like I'm great at being a dad. My kids know what's expected of them, so they do well in school. I'm not overbearing. I don't feel like I'm a complete authoritarian type parent, but there is an expectation, and I think that goes along with me being in the military. Also, my own upbringing of how I was raised by my parents. And we can get into that another time too, if everybody wants to. But I had a hard time wanting to be a stay-at-home dad. I felt like, as a father with 2 boys, I thought it was important for them to see their father work. And I think maybe it was a societal pressure that I felt like society says that this is the way things have to be. Sons have to see their father work. That way, when they get to be an adult, they know what it takes to put in that hard work for their family. And a part of me still feels that way, but I don't feel like it has to be necessarily work as in I go to a job 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it is. What I do at home is equally as important as what my wife does when she goes to work and what she provides on the monetary side, the financial side of that. What I am doing is what she would be doing if I was in her position. So it takes 2 people collectively working together to make this work, like any family does. And I think it just took me a while to really understand the connections of how things work together outside of a man working. Does that make sense? Am I explaining this very well? I don't know if I am. Anyway, I am a stay-at-home dad, and I love it. I really do. Even though I have this physical disability with my leg, I'm active with my kids. We ride our bikes, we go for walks, we play basketball in the driveway, we play in the backyard, we go to the park. We're fortunate enough to live in a neighborhood where I have a giant park right on outside my house, basically, that we can ride our bikes into this park on the paths, the trails. I do a lot of mountain biking. So I'm still active, and I'm active with my kids. I think that's important. I don't think I could be as influential of a parent if I wasn't active. I think that's very important. I think that's something that's lacking in today's society, is being active as a family. And I think in later videos we can go into that and what I think about that. But me personally, our family, our dynamic, I don't think things could work together as well as they do if we didn't have that side. And one of the reasons is, and I'll kind of just touch on it really quick, is just society's changed. And it's okay. I didn't grow up that way. I just celebrated my birthday yesterday. I turned 43 yesterday. I was a kid in the 80s, did my formative years in the 90s. We spent all our time outside. There was no internet, no technology or anything like that. We got home from school, we did our homework, or if we were in a club, sport, things like that. But other than that, other than school functions, dinner, we were home. I grew up in a small city to where I had free run of that city once I got to a certain age. I had my friends, we had transportation, bikes, whatever, and got older, I had cars. I was never home. My kids, I have to tell them, go outside, and I'm an outside person myself, so I'm out there with them, and I think we also, my wife and I, we feel more comfortable with me being, especially with my daughter. We live, I don't want her outside at her age alone, so it's important that I stay active and engaged, because they're still at that age where I can't really let them have free run. My oldest, he does, but my youngest daughter and my youngest son, I don't feel that way yet, and so I spend a lot of time outside with them. So I think that's a little bit of sorry, I keep cutting out. My dogs just won't stop. So yeah, that's a little bit of background on me. So I told my wife I was going to do this today. I was like, yeah, today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to start doing this. I've done some practice videos. I interviewed my kids yesterday just to have fun. They love that. And then earlier today, I talked about something that I felt really comfortable talking about. And it was like an hour and a half long video. I'm like, whoa. What happened? So now that I had to charge my phone because I went so long just talking to myself that, So I told her I was going to do this today. And she's like, well, what are you going to talk about? I was like, well, I think I'm just going to do an intro video, just kind of tell everybody about me and what I'm doing, and it's not even going to be anything like really informative, really. This is just, people either want to watch this or they don't. I don't know. But yeah, so I told her, I'm like, well, I think I'll just start, I'll do it like an outline. I feel like back in school, like I'm going to do this outline of what I'm going to talk about so I can keep everything organized. So, yeah, my background, who I am, I don't want people to think like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, some things I do. I am educated, I grew up in a city where I had great education, and then I did go to college. I have a couple degrees. I have I have a degree in biology, so I can touch on anything, in the science field, medical field. I worked in the medical field for the military. Um, and, I did emergency medicine on different spectrums. I did emergency in the field. I did it in an emergency room. I've worked in clinics. I've been in charge of clinics. And then I have an art degree. I am a professional photographer, and I do a little bit of just side art for myself. A lot of my photography isn't. I don't do weddings. I don't want to. I don't do a photo shoot of your family or anything like that. My stuff is more on the art side, and yeah, that's just. There's no really rhyme or reason. It's just what I felt more comfortable with. It felt like what I was best at. I don't know. I just like that side of things, which is really funny because most people who know me, they wouldn't think that about me. I grew up kind of as a jock. I'm all into sports and for most of my life, and but I guess I had this other side of me that a lot of people didn't know. I had this kind of nerdy side, I guess, where I do like math and science, history. I watch anything about history every day. I love history, but I also love art, and not all art. I'm not saying that the stuff that I don't like is horrible or stupid or bad or anything like that. I just have the art that I like, and but yeah, that's a side of me that people don't know, and I like having that kind of. It's almost like an alter ego of this jockey type person who was kind of like a tough guy, military, but I had this softer artistic part of me that I enjoy for myself. I don't want everybody else to necessarily enjoy that about me. That's just something for me, I guess. So I think that's kind of like what I want to do here. I want to be able to come on here, have these little conversations while I drink my coffee, wait for my kids to come home. Excuse me. And yeah, things that I just want to talk about. I'll make videos that do have to do with sports. I love college basketball and football. I grew up in Indiana. I'm a basketball fan. Huge Purdue Boilermaker fan. So I'll talk about anything that has to do with Purdue or the Big Ten Conference. I can't do everything I used to do physically. So I had to adapt, and that was really hard. And I think that's a video I want to talk about too, is there's people getting out of the military that don't know what to do next, or they got injured and now what? What do I do? And that was me. I was an athlete. I loved to run. I ran every day. I was in great shape. And then after my injury and spending so much time getting surgery after surgery after surgery and recovery, I wasn't the same person. I put on weight. I was taking tons of pain medicine. I was on other stuff for up here. I wasn't myself, and I didn't know who I was. And then that was the other part of it. Is like, okay, well, if I'm not this anymore, now what am I? If I'm not a runner or an athlete or a soldier, then what am I? And that was really hard for me. And so it took me a while to figure out, okay, well, what am I going to do next? What am I good at? What do I want to do? And I got into mountain biking, and I love it. And I don't have a $10,000, $5,000 mountain bike. I got I spent a little bit and got something that I could have fun with and beat up a little bit, but I could add things to it that I wanted. And so it's like this thing where I like to ride and I like to build, and I kind of put them together, and that's what I do. So that might be a topic one day that I want to talk about. Hey, like this morning, I went for a mountain bike ride. It was awesome. The weather here in San Antonio is warm today. I didn't have to deal with any cold this morning, so it wasn't hurting myself and my breathing hard. It wasn't humid, so my glasses weren't fogging up. It was perfect weather. It was 70 degrees, no wind, beautiful. I did an hour ride and I loved it. So I might talk about that. And then, there's other things. My family, my life revolves around my family. And I like talking about my family. I like talking about what's going on in my family. Now, to everybody watching this, I may not go into the details, but there might be like something that happens and I want to talk about it. It doesn't mean I have to say all the details about what's going on with this child or that, but I might want to discuss it, and I might want to discuss it with you. My kids are all in school. I have a teenager. He plays sports, and he's also got this, his mom likes to say that he is just like her. But now that he's getting a little bit older, I think it'd be surprised for her to know that he's actually a lot like me. He's got this intelligent, he's gifted, and loves math, loves science, but he's now starting to get really into sports. He did basketball, now he's running track. I ran track in college, and so he and I have a lot to talk about every day when he gets back from practice. He's only in 7th grade. It's his first year. But he also has this artistic side. And, that's something else. I'll talk about it. I may even show you all one day. But we don't buy decor. We make our decor in our house. We love doing art projects. My wife just got into cricket, and she loves it. She's addicted. And so now everything is like, oh, what can I make? What can I make? But we also will go to, Hobby Lobby or Michael's and get canvases. And then we just paint, my kids' rooms, mine, the living, like our picture frames is our art, and it's everything that we've made. And it's so much fun. We love doing that. And he loves doing that too. That's why I say that he's a lot like me, more than she probably realizes. So, when it comes to my family, I love to talk about my family. They're my family, and I love them that much. And so I might want to talk about that. I have 3 dogs. I have a dog who's special needs. How often do you hear that? My dog has special needs, right? But she's epileptic. And, I have to give her drugs every day, and she looks forward to her CBD twice a day. And it helps. It helps her. Why can't we talk about that? These are things I love to talk about. Politics. I know. Before he's going to talk about politics. I'm not an extremist on any side. Once we get into it, once we get more comfortable with each other, we can discuss what my politics are. But I want to talk about just what's going on with our country, with our government, and the federal side, state side. There's a lot going on right now, and I get upset by some of the things I see every day, because I feel like it can get a little bit one-sided, or maybe we're not getting the whole truth. Well, let's dive into that. Let's talk about that. Why aren't we hearing actually what's going on? Why does this feel like really strange? Why this? Why now? Those kinds of things. It's an election year. Everybody's going to be talking about politics this year. And me, if you want to know something about me, I don't like federal politics. I think it's a joke. I think what matters is everything that happens at the state or local level. Those are the important things that matter. That impacts our lives on a daily basis. My kids all go to school. That's state and local, especially local. Why does the federal government need to be involved with where my kids go to school? That just seems weird, my property taxes pay for the school, but not through the federal government. It doesn't get put through that way. So why are they involved? Those kinds of things are I like to talk about. Like, I have questions, and I don't know the answers, but I like to like talk it out and see if we can't find an answer, you know? So I know it seems really weird, but let's talk about politics in a very balanced way. It doesn't have to be one side or another. You know, I don't think that it was ever designed to be that way. Yes, America, we have a two-party system, and you know, I guess we kind of make it work. You know, you look at like what's going on, like the politics of the UK or Canada or even Australia, stuff like that, where they have this parliamentary system where, you know, the whole party is what gets elected, not just one person. You know, would that be better? You know, let's talk about these kinds of things. My answer is no. I actually like how we do things in the United States. I think United States is a very special place. It's worth preserving and saving and fighting for. Obviously, now there are things that do drive me crazy and I don't agree with, and that's okay. We're allowed to disagree, people. We're allowed to do it. Seriously, you know. So, you know, these are just some things I want to talk about. Politics, you know, we might even talk about religion. You know, they always say when you go to dinner, you know, like, don't talk about religion or politics, you know. What else is there, you know? Okay, well, sports, family. What are you going to do? Talk about the weather? Our weather out here is great. You know, what? Anyway, so those are things I want to talk about. I want to do an introduction. I know we're going on 26 minutes here. But it's a lot of fun, and this is a learning experience for me. Once I stop this video, I have no idea what to do next. And this is going to be so much fun trying to figure out how to navigate all of this. I went through earlier, I'm not even like huge on social media. Like Twitter, I follow like hundreds of people, but I have like 4 followers. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that person. Like, I will comment on things where I feel like I need to comment, but it's mostly just like this entertainment thing for me. Even Facebook, you know, my family, they all live up north. We're all actually kind of spread out all over the United States, and so Facebook is a great platform for people just to see what's going on with my life, my family, and things like that. But I'm not really huge on social media. It's just this entertainment side for me. And I've never really considered using it for something else until now. So this is a journey that I decided to go down, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And anybody who's watching this, and you're gonna be going on this journey with me. And so, you know, drop a comment. What do you want me to talk about? What do you want to hear from this mouth say? Anyway, a caveat to that is I shouldn't say what do you want me to say, because I'm not going to, like, I'm going to keep it PG-13, you know, at the most. So anyway, and so for the future, if well, I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold for this. I really don't. I'm just looking to talk about things, have fun with this, see where it goes. Out of everything I want to talk about, if it ends up being like, okay, well, these videos do great, these ones don't, well, you know, I might have to do that. I don't want to. I don't want it to be dictated that way, you know, where I think it's fine for me to be able to talk about what I want to. If you want to listen, then that's your prerogative. I'm not looking to buy a mansion for my YouTube channel, so I just want to talk and have a little bit of fun. And I hope you all come on this journey with me, have fun, listen to what I have to say, whatever. Anyway, thanks for coming out today, guys, and watching my video. I'm going to get it set up to where I have one of those little belly things that can be rung for notifications and subscriptions and all that. And I'm going to list all my details where you can follow me on social media. So until next time, you guys enjoy your day. My kids are going to be home in just a few minutes, and I'm going to go enjoy them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.